the name of the Father and Son and the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. I would like to discuss with you a little bit about the transformation of a society. How a society that is inframed into big problems in their lives, and they have a lot of things that they feel that they need to change, but at the same time they can't. And sometimes there are societies even they don't see the need for a change, the need for a transformation in their life. So our duty actually is to help the society to understand and to implement in their minds a little bit about the transformation that they need to have, and to empower them to fulfill these kind of changes. And sometimes we feel like it's easy to blame the society that is not developed, and it's easy to blame the societies why they do that, why they behave in this way, or why they don't even understand that there is a need for a change. And the problem is that most of the time when people are in a different situation, in a completely different setup of their lives, they don't see and they don't understand the activities inside the society that they need to change, or the powers that is actively working for them to stay in where they are. So for example, if you imagine yourself that you were at the time of Moses, and you could see the society of the people of Israel in this kind of context. They were working, making the mud bricks. This is a very hard work, and most of them, they had at that time tuberculosis, and they were so tired because of all the dust that they inhale every day, because they have to collect the mud, and then they put the hay, and then they mix it together, and that's a life that it's really hard. And on top of that, they don't have enough money, they don't have enough resources, there is no care for education, there is no care for lifting up people. And a society like this could be similar to lots of other societies that we live in. Either in Egypt or elsewhere in different countries, that there are actually societies that they need to develop. And most of the time when we look at them from another perspective, and we see the need that they need, and we may say that they need to do that, and they need to change in this way. But actually it's a long process to make a transformation of a society. And it doesn't have to be only a society that is having lots of poverty, but also some societies in the West as well, they need transformation, because the poverty is not only the poverty of money, but it's the poverty of ideas, the poverty of feelings, the poverty of fulfilling the humanity, fulfilling being a human being and helping others to live their humanity. And a human being who is not able to see the other human being and their humanity is still very poor and need to make a transformation. So the point here, how this society could be transformed. The first thing I would see that what God made with the people of Israel in Egypt. Imagine people there, they were talking about what? Everyday talks. They talk about the Pharaoh, they talk about the mud bricks, they talk about their health that is deteriorating, they talk about their neighbors and rumors and whatever kind of social activities, but there is no hope for something new, because their life has been framed into something, and that's would never be able to make a change in this society. So what God did, actually, He wanted to create a vision. He wanted to create a picture. He wanted to create an image with the people. And with this image, He would be able to make a shift, a transformation, just in their dreams. So the first point, actually, how to make to create a dream in the life of people, how to create a dream in the talks of the people, just the dream. It doesn't need to be big things. So what God did actually was so wise and amazing. How could He change the talks with people? So when Moses went to talk with his people, he started to tell them about the land of milk and honey. So people would not understand that why we need to go to the desert, or why we need to move from this land. But He only gave them a picture that they are able to grasp, a picture that they are able to talk about, a picture that they are able to dispute about and get angry and get sad about it, the picture that they would debate a lot about it. Just starting the debate about the picture that you need to create, it's the first step in transformation of the society. And that means that how can we bring a picture that it's valid in the life of the people? When God wanted a picture for His people, He created a picture for them from their own lifestyle. They know the bees, they know the honey, they know the milk, they know this setup. They were living in it. And that means when you lift up their eyes to see something beyond their living, and this is the first step, and to create a dream in the life of people. And I think our duty is not to come and tell them, I dream for you, but our duty is to create a kind of a feeling, an atmosphere, a status of mind, to create the dream in the mind of those people, and then they will reform it. They will create their own setup of it, just the idea. And that means that the first step that God did with His people was creating a dream. And of course, the dream is not the reality. And that means that people will start to be angry at the dream because they are not able to create this dream. They are not able to fulfill this dream. And that means that you need as well the second step to see how this dream would be fulfilled. And it will not be fulfilled from a distance, far away. It would not be that someone would come from a very far place and say like, okay, I do that for you. People need to be engaged in this dream. When God started to speak with Moses as well in the desert, He wanted to create for him the vision and as well the opportunity to fulfill the dream. So first He started to appear to him in a burning bush, and that burning bush is like is something completely strange for him. But that's what the thing that to take their eyes. That's the thing to take the eyes of Moses. That's the same thing that would take the eyes of the people. That's the same thing would be repeated nowadays. How you can just create something that will shift the eyes from looking to that side and let them to look to that side. And this is a great happening in the life of a human being, just to change your direction and look somewhere else. And this is not an easy thing to do. But God wanted this to happen. God wanted you to look at Him, but to look at him with the ability. When Moses started to argue with God about, yes, I know that you wanted us you wanted to liberate your people, you wanted the freedom, and you wanted your people to be lifted up and worship you. But it's still how? And then the questions here that Moses starts to argue with God about is the steps that we could go about where we could achieve a certain kind of an inner human condition of receiving and understanding, realizing the opportunities that they have. The first thing that Moses starts to argue with God is, who are you? I don't know you. Then the people here need to know that what kind of source of opportunities they have. So what kind of power that they could rely on. So if people would not understand that they have a power beyond their capacity that is ready to help them, and this power beyond their capacity that is there for them is called God himself, Jehovah. That's why when Moses would ask him about his name, he said, I am. And here it's the being and the connection of beings together is an important setup. It's not about understanding with your mind, it's about your understanding and with your being. The being itself, the being human being, and the being Godhood. And this is an important relationship when Moses started to argue with God about who he is. He said, I am who I am. And that's an important thing, that the steps that to realize the opportunities in life, you need to see the beings. So what kind of beings around you that is able to help you, and what kind of a human being you are. I am. And that means here, you and God, you with your powers, with the gifts that God has given you, and you and the connection with God, who is the being for you. And that's an important thing, that the first step that Moses wanted to see with God. Then Moses starts to argue as well about, but who I am. Most of the time, we don't see the opportunities in ourselves, because Moses was feeling low, because he tried before, but he didn't succeed. He tried to make a change in the society that he wanted to make the change, but he didn't make it. He just went and he was using his own power, and then he killed the man, and that's just led him to run away, and he lived in the desert of Sinai, where he was reformed, retransformed in his way of thinking, retransformed in his own being, and he started to realize the limitation of power of human beings, and also the humility that is needed to lift this power up to be able to do bigger than they are. And this is the lesson that we need to learn, actually, to see the abilities that we have. What if I would tell them who I am, send someone else? Most of the time, we need to make a change in the self-image where human beings are looking at themselves. When you come to a society where they feel like they have no power, they are always telling you, no, we don't have, we don't have, we don't have. Search for the little things in their lives that has an ability and it has power, and then you will create something in there. And this is the same transformation for your own human life, your own being.